The next problem on the pushdown automata is we have to design a pushdown automata for a language capital L equals to WCW power R. What is this WCW power R means? W is a string. If you take a string called ABA, C is the partition between the string W and the reverse of a string W. So it is just dividing. Okay, C and W power R means reverse of a string. Reverse of this string is ABA. So this kind of strings should be accepted if we design a push down automata. So whatever string if I take, it should be reverse of the given string. If I take AB, C is a partition of W and W power R. The reverse of AB is BA. If I take a string BB, the reverse of a string is BB. If I take a string AA, the reverse of a string is AA. So in this way, we have to take a string and try to push the elements into the stack. Whenever its equivalent symbol encounters, we should pop it out. Let me show you how actually the pushdown automata works for this type of strings. We will consider for ABA string. Okay, initially Z0 will be the top of the stack. So I will write Z0. So Z0, what is the first symbol? First symbol is A. So A I will push. Next symbol B, I will push. Next symbol A. So whatever strings we have in W, all symbols should be pushed into the stack. So A, B, A are pushed. Now C is the symbol which is constant, which represents it is a partition between W and W power R. Okay. So now whenever A reaches, then it says that this is the end of the string. Then whenever I read A, means this A should be cancelled. Means the top of the stack A will be popped out because its corresponding symbol has been encountered. Next, AA is cancelled. Now the top of the stack is B. Definitely the input symbol what we are pushing should be B. So B and B will be cancelled. So next is top of the stack is A. So next symbol we are pushing is A will be popped out. So in this way we have to write the transition functions. So let's start from the transition functions. I will put once again the stack. Initially Z0 will be the top of the stack. Now we have the string called ABA. C is constant. Now the reverse of the string ABA is ABA. Okay. Now start from the initial state. So initial state is Q0. Delta of Q0. Now what is the top of the stack? Z0. Z0 is the top of the stack. Now I want to push the symbol A. If I push A, state shouldn't be changed because whatever elements input symbols we push into the stack, it should just read and push into that. Until unless we encounter this capital C, means that says the end of this string. All the elements input symbols needs to be pushed. So now first A is pushed, state will be same Q0, A, Z0. Next Q0, top of the stack is A. I want to push B. B if I push, then state remains same because I am pushing B. I am not making any action here. I am just pushing. I am not popping. Right? Popping means we will change the state and that too same action is repeating, remain in the same state. Okay. Here the same action is happening. We are just pushing. So A is top of the stack. If I wanted to push B, then B, A, Z0 means the element B is pushed into the stack. Next element is A. Delta of Q0. B is the top of the stack. I am pushing A. Then it will be Q0, A, B, A, Z0. Right? Now the top of the stack is A. I am pushing A. Now whenever Q0, top of the stack is here A. If the top of the stack is A, I push the constant C, then nothing will be pushed into the stack. Only the state will change from Q0 to Q1, means What it says, that is the end of the string. That's why the state has been changed. But the top of the stack is A only. I am not pushing C into C into this particular stack. So it is just changing the state to Q1. So changing the state from Q0 to Q1 whenever the capital C is encountered. Next is A should be pushed. Now it should match. See A popping, B popping, A popping. So it should match. So now delta of, now I am in which state? Q1. Q1. Now what is top of the stack? A. If I push A, then both should be popped out. Both should be popped out. Now it will become Q1 comma epsilon. Now same action will be performed, might be different symbols, but it will be popping out. So Q1, now top of the stack is B. What I should push? B, right? Top of the stack is B. I am pushing B, it will be popped out. Hence, we will get the state Q1 comma epsilon. Next delta of, I am still in the state Q1 only. Q1 here. I am in state Q1. I am in state Q1. Top of the stack is A. I am pushing the input symbol A here. So Q1, top of the stack is A. I am pushing A means it should be popped out. It remains in the same state. So no need to write the transition again. It is already there. So all A, B is pushed, and whenever A gets, it will be popped out. Okay, now I am finally in the state Q1. Q1 epsilon Z0 equals to, going to the state Q2 Z0. Suppose if you take the another string called BAB. If you take a string called BAB, then the reverse of the string is BAB. Now we will check. First is we should, initially we should push B. But here we have only A which we have pushed into the top of the stack. So we should write another transition function. What is the delta of Q0 on, if Z is top of the stack, I am pushing B, then it will become Q0 B Z0. Okay. So there is no restriction that the first symbol should be A, right? It can be either A or it can be B also. Right? It can be either A or either B. If it is A, this transition will work. If it is B, then this will be done. So if B is the top of the first symbol, then for Z0, first B should be pushed. Then if B is top of the stack, if I push A, it needs to be red. So that will be done by these two transition functions. So first B is pushed. Then if B is top of the stack, if I push A, then A will be the top of the stack. If A is the top of the stack, if I push B, then B will be the top of the stack. Like that, all A's and B's are pushed into the stack by using these four functions. Okay. So BAB means B the top of the stack, A I pushed A, and A is top of the stack, B. So like that, any number of A's or B's are pushed into the stack by using these four transition functions. So whenever I reach C, the state will be changing. If the top of the stack is A, then it will become Q1A. If the top of the stack is B, because this is the last symbol, at this time B will become the top of the stack. So we should write one more transition function, Q0 C. If B is the top of the stack, change the state to Q1 B. Okay. So if B is the top of the stack, if C is the input symbol that is the constant symbol you are pushing, means just change the state and the top of the stack will be B. So B, A, B, C is changed. Now Q1 will be the state. If B is the top of the stack, if I push B, it should be popped out. That will be done by this transition function. If A is top of the stack, if I push A, this will be taken care by this function. So in this way, all A's, if A is the top of the stack, yeah, you can also add one more transition function as, if I have A's, if I have 3 A's, C, reverse of this 3 A's is 3 A's only. So pushing all A's can also happen. So we should write one more transition function, delta of Q naught. A is top of the stack. If I push A, then it should be Q naught A. Similarly, for B also, delta of Q naught, if B is top of the stack, if I push B, it should just push the symbol into the top of the stack. Okay, now we will check for BB. So B is the top. First BB, we will see here BB, C, BB. Okay, this is our string B. Reverse of this is also BB. So now initially Z0 will be the top of the stack and Q0 is the initial state. Now what I will do, I will first push B. So Q0, Z0 will be the top of the stack here. Z0 will be the top of the stack. If I push B, it will be stored here. Like that, any B's top of the stack is B. If I push B, it should remain in the same state. So any B's, if I push, it will be same. Now I have to go for C. Q0, B is the top of the stack. If I want to push C, so B is the top of the stack. If I want to push C, then it will just change the state and B will be the top of the stack. Now Q1 will be the state and B is the top of the stack. Okay, now B is the input symbol in which I wanted to push into the stack. If I say same input symbols after reverse of the string, it should be popped out. So Q1 BB. So we should have one more function as delta of Q1 BB. So BB should be popped out and we should get Q1 comma epsilon. So that is already there. So no need to write this function. So if I encounter BB, it will be popped out. Next, again, B is the top of the stack. I want to push B, the last B. So B is the top of the stack. I want to push B. It will be popped out and finally it is matched. So in this way, all the input symbols of a given string W can be reversed and finally we can able to design the push down automata for this. These are the transition functions. We will try to design a transition diagram for this. Okay, what is the first step? How many states we have? Q0, Q1 and finally Q2. Okay, so we will write Q0, Q1 and Q2. Okay, so now Q0 on A, Z0 is A. Going to the state Q0 only. Going to the state Q0. Z0 is the top of the stack. If I push A, it is going to the state Q0 only and top of the stack is A. Similarly, if I push A's, B's, it will be the same state. So, if A is the top of the stack, if I push A, it will be A. If B is the top of the stack, if I push A, the top of the stack is A. So these are the transition functions, this one and this one. Next, if I want to push B is the top of the stack and A is the input symbol, then this is the transition function. Next is B, this one. B is the first symbol to be pushed and then it becomes BZ0. Okay, now Z0 is the top of the stack. If I push B, then it will be B. It is going to the same state. Here it should be labeled. It should be labeled here. Next, Q0 BB. Okay, so Q0 top of the stack is B. Again, if I push B, it should be B. So all this set is for this one. Okay, it will be remaining in the same state. Top of the stack is Z0. If I push A, it will be A. Top of the stack is Z0. If I push B, it should be B. If it is A, if I push A, top of the stack is A. If it is B, if I push A. So all A's and B's, AA's, BB's, AB's, BA's should be pushed into the stack. When the state will be changed from Q0 to Q1, whenever I see the constant capital C, the state will change. If the top of the stack is A and I am pushing C, then the top of the stack is A only, but it is moving to the state Q1. Next, if the top of the stack is B, if I push C, then the top of the stack will be B only, but changing the state to Q1. Okay, in Q1, now same elements will be cancelled out, right? B, A, B, like that. So if B is the top of the stack, if I push B, it should be popped out. Why? Because it is the reverse of the string. Once we complete C, means it, or whatever symbols we get, we should match it. Similarly, if A is the top of the stack and if I push A, it should be popped out. Okay. Finally, Q0, epsilon is the top of the stack and Z0 is at the bottom. Then it should reach to the state Z0. So Q0 will be Q0. Z0 is the top of the stack. If I push epsilon, reaching to the state Q0. So the top of the stack will be Z0, means all the elements are popped out. Okay. So this is the push down automata for a language WC W power R.